Hey people, this is officially week 2 now, so I'm back with my picks. So as you can see, we've missed the Thursday game, so we won't be able to pick that. My initial pick on this game was actually that the Panthers were going to win, because I believed that there's no way Cam Newton could be that bad. Apparently he's that bad for right now. He might actually just be injured, but we'll see. So now I'm going to go down my list. Cardinals, Ravens, the Chargers, Lions, and then so on. Alright, so let's start with the Cardinals and Ravens. Now, last week the Ravens had a really easy game against the Dolphins, and the Cardinals were a team that actually ended up playing in a tie against the Lions last week. That being said, I think the Ravens are a better team than the Cardinals. And in all honesty, I feel like the Ravens are going to put up a lot of points again this week. Just because I don't think that Cardinals defense is all that good. But that being said, I do feel like Kyler Murray is a good quarterback that's just on a bad team. And because of that, I feel like the Cardinals put up at least like 24 points. So I'll go ahead and say the Ravens are going to win this one. Maybe about, like, I don't know, 32 to 24 or something. It's going to be a big win for them, again, but, I mean, it's not going to be a huge game either way. Lions and Chargers. Now, the Chargers are going to win this. I just have to say that. The Lions are going to be bad again this year. They tied the Cardinals last week. I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be close. The Lions are going to keep it close with people. They remind me somewhat of the Redskins in that I feel like they're a team that could be good, but they're missing certain pieces. So I'm going to give this one to the Chargers. I almost said Lions, but no, Chargers. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like 27-24, though. The Chargers are not a team that wins big. They just don't. Colts, Titans. This is, I mean, Jacoby Brissett is better than I thought he would be. But the Titans, I feel like, are just going to put a whooping on the Colts. I'm sorry. They just are. They're a good team. They're not going to lose to the Colts without Andrew Luck. The Colts are going to start 0-2. Titans are going to win. They're going to start 2-2. I believe it will be close again. I think this one actually might be about like 27-25. It's going to be like a really, really close game. Bengals 49ers. This game is fairly evenly matched. I'm going to go, and I have to pick the Bengals on this one. For whatever reason, it looks like the Bengals are playing like at least half of their NFC games this year, like really early. I actually don't know why the scheduling put the Bengals against two NFC teams this early, but at least it gives the Bengals a little bit of a room to make a couple of mistakes, but they can't go 0-2. Not with the Ravens being able to be going 2-0 probably in the beginning of the season. Not with the Browns being in this division. I actually like the direction the Bengals seemed to be going. I mean, they kept it very close against the Seahawks last week. I knew they were going to do that, by the way. I just didn't expect it to be 1 point close. The Bengals actually almost won that game against the Seahawks last week. And the Seahawks are a better team than the Niners. And I actually think that since this game is as evenly matched as it is, it's going to be a 3-point game. The Bengals are going to win this game 23-20. I'm almost certain that's exactly what's going to happen. Jaguars and Texans. Now, the Texans are going to win this game. Obviously, it's going to be a fucking rout. The Jaguars are just a horrible team without a good quarterback, and Nick Foles went down week 1. Jaguar season, by the way, is over already. At best, they're going to go like 3-13. I'm not even fucking kidding. They're so bad right now. They might not get the first pick in the draft just because I think they are better than the horrendous Dolphins team that exists right now, but I mean the Texans are so much better than them. It's ridiculous. I think it's going to be literally like 34 to like maybe 17. I'm not even kidding. I believe that might actually be what happens. Texans win it. Vikings, Packers. Oh boy. This is toughy. This one is tough because I don't even know what to expect from the Packers. I honestly think Aaron Rodgers might have lost a little bit of his edge. They don't have as good of a defense as the Bears do. The Packers' defense is better. Kirk Cousins is overrated. And I'm going to go with the Packers. It's going to be like 17-10. It's going to be a very boring game. The Packers are no longer an exciting team in the NFL. They just aren't. Oh my god, but they're going to win that game. Oh my gosh, the Redskins, Cowboys. Listen, I think Washington is a better team than a lot of people give them credit for. I think that what's his name? I'm forgetting. Whatever his name is, the quarterback for the Redskins. He isn't Case Keenum. Case Keenum is going to be the biggest factor in this game. Dak is going to have a good game. We already know this. The Cowboys are going to win this game. Straight up, they're just going to win. Cowboys might be the best team in that division. I don't think that's an overreaction. They won the division last year. I mean, it's either going to be Cowboys or Eagles that win the division. Actually, no, scratch that. The Cowboys are the second best team in the division. I think the Eagles are a better team than the Cowboys. We can see that just through the way that both teams have played. Deshaun Jackson gives the edge to the Eagles, I think. But it's not Cowboys-Eagles. It's Cowboys-Redskins. And in all honesty, the Cowboys are going to win this game like probably 28 to like 20. It's gonna be about that close. Case Keenum can put up at least 20 points a week. He's a okay quarterback. He's like the Joe Flacco of the NFC. Okay, that's really what it is. But then Dak is better than him, so. And the Cowboys overall are a better team than the Skins are, so yeah. Seahawks and Steelers. Okay, the Steelers, they looked bad last week. They looked really bad last week. I understand it was the Patriots, but to lose to the Patriots by 30 points, to lose to any team by 30 points is abysmal. That is just sad, especially when it's supposed to be a rivalry. You know, like, that was bad. The Seahawks, however, barely won against the Bengals, and the Bengals are supposed to be the worst team in the AFC North this year. I don't know if that's true anymore. I think that the clear front runners in this division now have got to be the Ravens. And, I mean, that might be a little bit of bias coming out of me because I'm a Ravens fan, but, like, watch the games from last week. The Browns self-destructed. The Bengals actually looked really good. Like, really good. They just came up a little bit short, as they do a lot of the time. And the Steelers just got shellacked by a team that's supposed to be their rival team. I actually think a lot of it has to do with Antonio Brown. I'm just going to give the Seahawks a touchdown win on this one, 27-20. Ben Roethlisberger cannot play as bad as he did last week. And he's not going to. So, there's that. Bills Giants. This game is fucking terrible. This game is a joke. I mean, look at this. Bills versus Giants. Oh, jeez, man. Oh my god. Like, this is a joke, right? I mean, it's gonna be funny because the Bills are probably gonna end up being 2-0 by the end of it. But I don't even know if that's gonna be my actual prediction. Because for whatever reason, my gut is telling me to go with the Giants. I'm going to go with the Giants. This is a long shot. I feel like the Bills do have a good chance to win this as well. I feel like this is a pretty even matchup. But something just tells me Eli and the Giants and Saquon Barkley are going to get it done. I mean, I know the Bills... Like, look at what happened last week with the Bills. They barely won against the Jets, and the Jets are awful. The Jets are still bad, believe it or not. Sam Darnold, with all the hype he gets, is not even that good. Like, he couldn't even beat Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's an average quarterback. I don't know what to say. I feel like the Giants are just going to win this game. It's going to be close. It's going to literally probably be like 17-16 again. But this time the Bills are going to lose the 17-16 game. It's going to be funny. The Bills are going to have like the most even matchups in the Bills honestly have had the two most even matchups all season this year. And they're going to lose this one. Oh my god. What can I say about this game? The Dolphins are the worst team in the NFL, guys. They just are. I mean, like, I knew the Ravens were going to beat them last week. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Honestly, the Dolphins would have been better off with Ryan Tannehill still starting for them. Ryan Tannehill is better than every other quarterback the Dolphins currently have on their roster right now. And I think that has pretty much been made clear after week 1. The Dolphins head coach is awful. I can tell from just one game he's bad. Like, the fact is he's from the Belichick tree. Those guys, literally, none of the coaches that are under Belichick are good. None of them are. All of them, once they leave the Patriots, they poop out. You know why? Because they're under a genius. They're under a guy that can carry them. Not to mention the Dolphins head coach was the linebackers coach of the Patriots a couple of years ago. You look at the Patriots defense for the past few years and tell me a guy that had anything to do with anything the Patriots defense was doing in the last couple of years deserves a head coaching job in the NFL. And I'd tell you, they don't, because the defense of the Patriots has been a laughingstock for years. And it's been funny because we all know that the Patriots is just carried by their offense every year. That's still the case now. Everyone is like, oh my god, the Patriots defense did so good last week against the Steelers. The Steelers are not nearly as good as they used to be. Their best receiver is Juju. Juju's not even that good. AB took away from coverage from him last year. We all know that. We all know that now. AB is supposed to start for the Patriots this year. Even with all the allegations and all that stuff that's happening, I don't like AB. He's going to end up starting this week. The Ravens shellacked the Dolphins last week, and I don't even think the Ravens are anywhere close to as good as the Patriots are. And I'm a Ravens fan. The Dolphins are going to get absolutely murdered for the second week in a row. I don't actually think they're going to get scored 50. They're not going to give up 50 points again. They can't. But they're not going to score anything. They're literally just going to sit there. Maybe they'll score 10 points again. I'll give the Dolphins 10 points again because I believe they can do that. But the Patriots are going to at least put up 42. It's going to be like 42-10 by the end of the game. That's all I'm going to say. I believe the Ravens scored that many points on them because John Harbaugh said, fuck it, we're just going to go ahead and run it down on them. I don't know if Bill Belichick will do that. He probably will if he gets the chance. But whatever. Oh boy. Chiefs Raiders. Now this is going to be a good game. Derek Carr is looking good this season, guys. Derek Carr is looking good this season. But I still think the Chiefs are going to win. I think it's going to be close, but I think the Chiefs are going to win. The Raiders are a lot better than they were last season. Like, you can just tell by looking at the Broncos-Bears game. I mean, not Broncos-Bears. Broncos-Raiders game from last week. That was an absolute showing out of the Raiders. And they're playing another divisional opponent. But I think they're going to lose this one. I think it's going to be like 33-31. I'm not even kidding. I think it's going to be that close. Saints-Rams. I'm just going to say it. The Saints are going to win this one. We all know they should have won last year in the playoffs. We all know they should have. There was an obvious pass interference penalty. If it goes anything like that game last year, the Saints are just going to win. And we're going to see, once and for all, the Saints should have been in that Super Bowl last year. We're going to see that again this year. It's pretty obvious. Alright, so, I mean, I don't know how much they're going to win by, but let me just throw out a prediction. Maybe like 28-24. I'm not even kidding. 28-24, the Saints are going to win. Broncos, And Bears, this is obviously going to be a defensive struggle. Mitch Trubisky versus Joe Flacco. Yo, I literally said I believe that Joe Flacco was better than Mitch Trubisky at the beginning of his career. I still think Joe Flacco is better than Mitch Trubisky, mind you. But the Bears defense might be able to carry this game. Let's face it, Aaron Rodgers was only able to put up 10 points on those guys. Joe Flacco only put up 16 points on a pretty average Raiders defense last week. This is an exceptional defense. But my question is, can I trust Mitch? I literally trusted Joe Flacco more than I do Mitch Trubisky. And that's saying a lot because Joe Flacco has regressed a lot. Like, he used to be even better on the Ravens than he was on the Broncos. And he's just bad. He is bad. 16 points against the Raiders? Good God. To be fair, there was a dropped touchdown last week, but, oh man. I feel like the score in this game might end up being like 13-10. And I think I gotta go ahead and give it to the Bears, even though I trust Joe Flacco more I do than Trubisky. If the Bears are able to put up 13 points, forget about it. That's all they need this whole last season. That's all they needed like last season. Their defense is just that good. Admittedly, I think that Joe Flacco will be able to put up a touchdown against the Bears this week. I think he can. I think every team in the league can at least put up 7 on the Bears. At least put up 10 on the Bears. I feel like the Bears are going to give up like at least 10 points consistently. But I think after that it's just over. So that's the thing is I think if the Bears can at least score around 13, maybe 14 points a game, they don't even really need to do much more than that. That's just how good their defense is. But I'm going to put the trust in the Bears defense over Joe Flacco because I trust Joe Flacco more than I do Trubisky. But I don't know, man. If the Broncos win, whatever. I doubt that they will. That's a tough game for them. The Eagles versus the Falcons. Oh boy, the Eagles are going to absolutely shred the Falcons. You already know they're going to put up 30-plus points again. It's going to be like 34-17. The Falcons are absolutely terrible. Matt Ryan is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. You know who Matt Ryan is? Matt Ryan is a less talented Tony Romo. That's what I think. He's a less talented Tony Romo. And sure, Matt Ryan has had more playoff success, but look at him in the regular season. He's awful. Like, Matt Ryan is a less talented Tony Romo. He choked in the Super Bowl. He really should have a ring. He doesn't. You know who didn't have a ring in his whole career? Tony Romo never had a ring in his whole career. You know who had a couple of really good seasons, but sometimes just didn't look that good? Tony Romo. Matt Ryan is in the same boat. He's in the same boat. He needs to show me something more than what he has done. Listen, Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco were drafted in the same draft, in the same round. Matt Ryan, I believe, went like either second or third, I think, in the draft. Joe Flacco went 16th. Joe Flacco has had better success than Matt Ryan has in the playoffs, and look at how Joe Flacco's playing right now. Look at how they both play right now. I'm telling you, man, Joe Flacco has had more success than Matt Ryan has in his career. That's bad. That's not good. And yet Matt Ryan is still more respected. He is still more respected. I don't know about that. Browns versus Jets. This game is a fucking snooze fest. Are you kidding me? Everyone knows that this game is going to be awful. Sam Darnold is out for some random reason. I don't know why. You tell me he got sick this week and that he won't be better by Monday. Okay. He got sick a couple of days ago. Most people get over their sicknesses in a few days, unless it's like something really serious. So unless he has like pneumonia or the flu, I'm not buying it. Like, those are the only things I think he could have that would make him have to sit out. Unless you want to sit him because, you know, he didn't practice all week. He's your starting quarterback. Who are the Jets even going to start this week? I mean, I think the Browns are going to win this game. But it's not going to tell us anything about the Browns. The Browns are probably going to win because the Jets are starting somebody that's not even their starting QB. And then everybody's going to be like, oh my God, the Browns won again. Let's go back to, just really overhyping them and, sitting here like Baker Mayfield's the greatest guy to ever play the game. Like, it's so bad. The Browns need to chill out. Alright, y'all are 0-1. Okay, let's list the reasons why the Browns need to chill out. The Browns are 0-1 with Baker Mayfield, OBJ, and Jarvis Landry. Oh, and they also on defense have Myles Garrett. So they have 4 superstars. 4. And they could not beat the Tennessee Titans. Bruh. You could not beat a mediocre team at best. The Tennessee Titans might let's look at the Tennessee Titans record last year. 9-7. What were they the year before? 9-7. They're the kings of 9-7. They barely make the playoffs every single year, and you couldn't beat them with three superstars on offense and Nick Chubb, who's supposed to be a good running back. Nick Chubb's not a good running back. Nick Chubb can't do anything that a lot of other running backs do. I'll admit, Nick Chubb he's a good running back, but he's not a great running back. He's not special. He's not special in the NFL. I think the Browns are going to win this game. I think they're going to win it big, because the Jets aren't starting Sam Darnold. That's the only reason they're going to win it big. Le'Veon Bell's going to get at least 1 touchdown. How many points did Baker going to put up on this team? 23? It's going to be like 23-17. I guarantee. Baker's not as good as everybody thinks. Baker threw 3 interceptions last week. Think about that. He had 3 interceptions. It's going to be like 23-17 Browns. Baker's going to at least throw 1 to 2 interceptions because he's an interception king. He's not like, people are like, oh, Baker threw 27 touchdowns last year. It was a rookie record, and he didn't even play the whole season. Baker also threw 14 interceptions last year, and he didn't even play the whole season. He threw more interceptions last year than a lot of other quarterbacks, and he did not even play the whole season. This is one thing I feel like people don't notice about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield throws a lot of interceptions. He's gonna end up being probably like the modern day Joe Namath. I'm not even kidding. Like, he throws way too many interceptions. He's gonna be so overrated his whole career because of the fact that he was able to get the Browns a couple wins. That's what it's gonna be. He's gonna be able to get the Browns a couple wins, maybe get them to the playoffs a couple times, and then he's gonna be like hailed as the hero of the Browns, the hero of Cleveland. Realistically, he's gonna throw like double the interceptions that everyone else in his draft class does. Just kind of facts sitting here. I'm just like, alright. Cool. Well, that's the end of that. Remember to like and give this channel a subscribe. If you want to, go ahead and do those 2 things. That would be very nice. Goodbye.